In a couple weeks, I will be part of a half marathon in London for charity. I'm looking forward to it. It's my second half marathon in my life. It's the same one I did last year. And by the time this comes out on YouTube, that will have long passed. I'll see what kind of rank I will get. Rank, spot, number, whatever you call it. Last year, out of 16,000 people, I was 883. I'm aiming for top 600. So if I see like a 500 something, that's exactly what I'm aiming for. So let's see how that goes. And in the meantime, we got the records of Redacted to read. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's a short one. Less rated than the previous one, but we don't care about the ratings. We care how much we enjoy it ourselves. And I hope that everybody else in this chat does the same thing. Euclid. Site 1601 has been established 70 kilometers northwest of in Hokkaido Prefecture, Japan, with Foundation personnel assuming several park ranger positions in routinely patrolling the area. I read 1,600 SCPs. Has there been any country that hasn't been mentioned yet? That I think Turkey maybe? Has Hungary? I think Hungary has been mentioned. China, USA, England, Germany has been mentioned multiple times. Switzerland has been mentioned a couple times. France, Mexico, Japan, China, as I said, Korea. I'm pretty sure the Philippines have been mentioned as well. But yeah, I think there's definitely a couple African countries, but I'm pretty sure there were also some African countries that have been mentioned already. Yeah, but let's go on. Foundation personnel assuming several park ranger position. Signs outside of the cave, one of instability, and advise the public to stay out. Any person attempting to enter the cave should be intercepted and escorted from the area. To prevent further damage to SCP-1601 to the movement and minimize the risk of an uncontrolled event, 1601, dash BR during transit is contained in the cave in which it was found. A live camera feed of SCP-1601 is maintained and recorded at all times. When the dome of SCP-1610 changes, the resulting text should be analyzed to determine if it has been encountered before. If not, a 3D model should be made of the current state of SCP-1601's dome and a cast made for Foundation linguists. Should the event 1601-BR occur, or I'm just going to call it BR, the broadcast area is to be canvassed for recordings and Class A2 amnestics administered as needed. At no time should any sentient SB of an age greater than years of an indeterminate age or which has been previously discovered in SCP-1601's records be allowed within a 5-kilometer radius of the object. There's a lot of things that seems to be happening. We need to observe it. There's also something with the language happening. Seems to have like some sort of a range effect. There's a lot of things happening right now. SCP-1601 is a 1.23 meter high stone lantern discovered in a cave in a heavily forested area of Hokkaido, Japan. The lantern's age is estimated at over years based on other artifacts found in situ in the cave and the ancient language SCP-1601 uses. An ancient language, so like how ancient are we talking about? Like 400 years ago, Japan, or like BC? Attempts to move the lantern prove that it was fused to the floor, necessitating its why can't I say that word? Necessitating its containment at its current location. Do you guys have those moments where you can say a word perfectly fine if you don't read it? Because that's what happens to me when I read SCP sometimes. Other artifacts found in the cave have been determined to be non-anomalous and are cataloged in the Foundation Cultural Museum, Asian Studies Wing. While resembling sandstone, the actual composition of SCP-1601 is so far unidentified. Surface samples from the non-active base appear to be mostly a previously unknown allotrope of silicon. Radar and X-ray imaging have determined that SCP-1601 is partially hollow inside, and much of this space is taken up by interlocking objects of various sizes. See Image Library 1601-3 for the full image set. It is theorized that these objects make up some form of mechanism. Due to the obviously damaged nature of SCP-1601, requests to open the object and examine these components have been denied. Periodically and unpredictably, the lantern portion of SCP-1601 emits a white ambient light described as very bright but not painful to look at. This event is very rare, with only events in years of containment. After 1 to 2 minutes, the light suffuses into the 2 domes that cap the lantern. Characters then quickly form in the surface of the domes and remain for 3 to 6 hours before the surface becomes smooth again. These characters were found to be a mix of certain Proto-Japanese forms of writing, but were initially incomprehensible. After effort from the Foundation linguist, the key to translation was discovered to be the depth and angle of the characters, which acted as both context and syntax clues. Translation of the one dome event can take up to 1 month. Man, I wish Spiegel was here. He would have. Oh wait a minute, my rating list is still on. I wish Spiegel was here because he would have a. He could describe to me this. Like he would dumb this down for me, so I'd be like, oh yeah, of course. I miss that guy. I miss him when he was here in SCP streams. I wonder how he's doing. But yeah, let's go on. Let's continue. Translation of one dome event can take up to 1 month. The translated text on the smaller upper dome always consists of 3 components: the phrase, the records / prisoners / catalog of redacted, a title, and a word translated as location / prison / status, followed by text. The titles appear to be designations for a variety of entities of supernatural or anomalous nature. -A, the location text has so far consisted of the same word translated as unknown. The larger dome holds a description of the entity or entities identified by the smaller one. These descriptions are thorough, although unscientific, and rely heavily on conjecture and hearsay. So far, of entities named and described so far would be subjects for of these entities bear significant resemblance to currently contained SCPs, including redacted. All entities named and described so far would be subjects for containment should they be encountered by the Foundation. See document 1601-A-EL for a full running list of -A. Because of my If the entity that SCP-1601 has cataloged enters within 5 kilometers of the lantern, SCP-1601 reacts by releasing a large-scale, 307-kilometer radius radio burst on multiple frequencies, many used commercially. Any radio devices tuned into those frequencies will emit loud bursts of musical sound, followed by a computerized voice announcing in a dialect of Proto-Japanese the description and immediate location of the SCP. See experiment in which SCP was allowed to approach and attempt to analyze SCP-1601. Although the speech will likely make little sense to most listeners, event is considered a Class U breach of security. That's why it's Euclid. Because that means like people in 307-kilometer radius will just randomly hear the speech, and once they, find out that like maybe like families outside of that radius did not hear the same speech on the same radio show. Like maybe like you have like an uncle and aunt, or uncle and a grandmother, listening to the same radio show because that's what they do. And then like the uncle hears the speech, but the grandma doesn't. And then once they sit together and talk about it, the grandma's like, no, I did not hear this thing. And the uncle's like, oh, that's odd. That's odd. That's hard to hide, especially if it happens multiple times. Although it did say that like those events are rare, but still, it's hard to explain to a huge group of people why your radio suddenly decided to like play this speech of something coming at you, or a location of something, you know, like especially if like somebody understands this language, and they're like, huh, that's a couple of kilometers away from me. I wonder what that means. Let me go there, and then next thing you know, they see an SCP and they're like, what the fuck is this? Or like Dante, what the hell is this? Document 1601-A-EL excerpts. I should get that as a voice effect. Dante's what the hell is this from Devil May Cry 4. It's so good. Okay, so SCP-A-3, Gods of the Thundering Chorus. Description summary. A cacophony of disembodied voices at high volumes that rendered listeners unconscious and then removed their skip. Okay, that's something different than I expect. I thought it just tells you what shit is. Or where it is. I didn't think that this would also affect people listening to it like this, except those that survive/become clean recall to us the voices of the gods/ancestors in the din. What comes after is the hearing of the truth/no lies. This is a note, theological conjecture in the description holds that the skin is only removed if the person has wronged an ancestor's ghost. Okay, so some people are safe from this. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, since they're all A, so I'll just go say -14, title, Woman with Sharp Red Mouth. Reminds me of the woman with the crooked smile, like the Japanese urban legend. A traditional nukubi with the added feature of octopus arms and a beak mingling with the organs that aid in feeding. Be awake by... Okay, except be awake by night when she howls in the hills. Should she come out of the shadows/dark, she squeals/moans/ desires the children she devours. Keep fire at hand, for she flees before the flames. Okay, -76, the sickening darkness of the west. This would be actually kind of cool idea of just like for Halloween for the radio to just like in the middle of the song just like play an excerpt like this. For Halloween would be kind of nice. I know some people will complain like, oh, why would you do this? And be like, well, it's Halloween, duh. Why would you not do something that's horror related? The sickening darkness of the west. Description summary: a massive dark black cloud of tangible, mobile, and highly radioactive matter. Excerpt: it blankets the skies and the people fall. Their bodies crack and seep/bleed/weep. They cannot hold and must fall apart. Those that may live breed not but monsters and abominations after they have seen the cloud. It curses their blood as payment for the land. Researchers note, radioactivity inferred from effects of exposure to the entity. Naturopathic explanation put forth in original description. -95, title Small Mouse, description summary. Multiple instances of very small humanoids, all wearing silver suits. Though not violent, they eat more than 6 times their body weight every day, making them quite expensive. Excerpt: they are born of the lights in the sky, cast off from the kingdom/sphere. Their appetite is the punishment, and our land/world/plane the prison. Controlling the progeny/fruit/eggs is without peer in honor, or else they bleed the land dry. I do like how the excerpts feel very Japanese, gotta say. This sounds like something that, like, you know, a Japanese urban legend would be all about. -97, title Old Man of Tricks. Description: an old man who displays a variety of extranormal abilities, including levitation, telepathy, and pyropathy. Except his speeches of secrets and his actions/feats/tricks impress his power/dignity upon all he meets. His was the ear of leaders/kings, and his reputation/legend spread as far as Aharabia. Researchers note, it is difficult to tell the difference between -97 and a talented street magician. The unscientific nature of the description makes a definitive analysis of his SCP nature impossible. And -153, title Dangerously Modest Men of Heaven, description: they look sponged. Except only those who pay the price of honor/sacrifice and can no longer measure the light by their eyes may know this man of divine personage/origin. Alright. This is... even though it's very low rated, I do say this is pretty good. I like what they did. Again, I like the feel of the Japanese, urban legend to it, or like the excerpts are like they're very like I don't know how to describe it, like, but like just from the way it's describing things, there are certain ways like how description is written that can follow like a culture, like the way an American author and a British author describe something, or two. Of course, at the end, it also depends on the level of literature they have. But I mean, there are certain cultural ways of describing something that stands out, and I don't know, something about that felt Japanese to me, and I really like the excerpts. I really liked what they did, and I also just love the idea of like the radio just playing that, just out of nowhere you hear something about a street magician that like or like the silver suit guys like oh yeah, they were born from light above, and the hunger is a punishment and our world is a prison, and you're like, what? I was listening to AC/DC a moment ago, like what's happening? So I mean, I do like that. Oopa. I do think that's a cool idea.